Welcome back to Comic Cappers. Today we're diving into the absolute peak of intergalactic violence. We're talking about Thokk, the legendary battle beast. He is a warrior defined by an insatiable bloodlust and a crushing sense of existential boredom. He spent his life scouring the cosmos, looking for a fight that won't end with him standing over a pile of corpses, disappointed. This is the start of his hunt for the ultimate death. Battle Beast is absolutely fed up. He's standing amidst the carnage of a fight that clearly didn't live up to his expectations, holding a defeated opponent by the head while letting the rest of these so-called warriors know exactly how disappointed he is. He's looking for a challenge that could actually end his life, not a playground scrap. With his point made, he turns his back on the wreckage and strides away, stepping through a glowing portal. He's not interested in lingering on a planet that couldn't provide him a worthy death. We hear a heavy thud as he exits, his boot clearing the threshold of the portal, leaving the broken remains of his latest opponents behind in the dust. Back on the other side, the scene is grim. A survivor looks up from the rubble, bloodied and defeated, whispering a final, bitter insult as the portal closes. Jerk. With the previous battle left in ruins, we cut to a silent, lingering shot of the ship drifting through the cold vacuum of space, Earth hanging in the distance. It's a moment of grim transition, emphasizing the isolation of our protagonist as he moves away from another disappointing encounter and deeper into the void. Battle Beast stands amidst the wreckage of the ship, blood staining his armor and the consoles around him. He is absolutely livid, venting his frustration at the empty room because the mission he was sent on, to find a worthy challenge on Earth, turned out to be a complete bust. He steps over the butchered remains of the crew, lamenting that they weren't even worth the effort of the slaughter. He acknowledges they were likely acting under duress when they sent him to Earth, but their weakness is an insult he can't forgive. Suddenly, the ship's computer breaks its silence, revealing it has been watching him the entire time. It explains that it was ordered to stay hidden to give the crew a tactical edge, but with everyone dead, the computer sees no reason to keep playing the quiet game. Battle Beast doesn't care for the computer's dry, analytical tone. He immediately threatens to tear the ship apart to find its core, forcing the computer to quickly pivot and submit to his authority. We kick off with a shot of the ship streaking through deep space, leaving a trail of energy in its wake. It's a moment of calm before we dive back into the gruesome reality inside. Inside, the ship's computer has complied with Battle Beast's demand, shifting its tone to initiate conversation. It's clearly unsettled by the scene, watching as Thokk feasts on the remains of the ship's former crew, questioning why he would bother with such decayed sustenance. Battle Beast doesn't miss a beat while he eats. He admits that while he prefers his prey fresh, he's no stranger to rotten game. He's clearly frustrated by his navigation, having expected to be at a spaceport by now, but he's currently lost in this sector of the galaxy. The computer pivots to its primary function, offering to help him find a new destination. Battle Beast cuts through the offer with his singular, terrifying goal. He's not looking for luxury or supplies, he's hunting for a true challenge, the kind of opponent that can actually test his immense power. Finally, the computer asks the one question that cuts to the core of this warrior's existence. Why? Why dedicate your entire life to this endless, bloody search? Battle Beast finally breaks his stoic silence. Surrounded by the grisly remains of the ship's former crew, he explains to the computer why he's willing to open up. It's not out of kindness, but a cold, calculated fear of losing his own sense of self through isolation. He realizes that to truly convey the gravity of his quest for the ultimate death, he must finally pull back the curtain on his origins. Battle Beast opens up about his origins on the savage world of Dorne, explaining that constant, brutal war was the only life his people ever knew. He reflects on his youth, describing how a bottomless, uncontrollable rage began to boil inside him as he came of age, setting him on a path of endless destruction. Battle Beast stands amidst the carnage of his recent victory, wiping gore from his hands while lamenting the emptiness of his crusade. He admits that his search for a worthy opponent has become a journey without end. The ship's computer attempts to clarify Battle Beast's motivations. It confirms that he is in a constant state of rage and that his sole purpose is to find an adversary capable of defeating him in combat. Battle Beast gives a simple, blunt confirmation to every point. The computer reveals its own constraint. It is programmed to be incapable of lying to organic beings. Because it feels a lingering loyalty to its former crew, it confesses that its own goal is to lead Battle Beast toward the one thing he wants most, a death at the hands of a superior fighter. Battle Beast is visibly delighted by this revelation. He views death not as a tragedy, but as the only escape from the curse of his own overwhelming strength. He welcomes the computer's assistance, eagerly inviting it to guide him to his demise. Battle Beast has finally found a partner in his grim quest. The ship's computer, having accepted its new reality, drops the formalities and leans into the mission. It's a chilling moment of compliance as the AI shifts from a reluctant guide to an active participant in Thokk's search for a glorious death. With a roar of engines and a surge of energy, the vessel engages its warp drive, tearing through the fabric of space. The hunt is officially on, and the computer is wasting no time charting a course for the most dangerous corners of the galaxy. Battle Beast stands solitary and imposing upon the cracked, desolate surface of an alien world. Bathed in the eerie, crimson glow of a massive planetary body looming overhead, he looks every bit the apex predator searching for a worthy end. The silence of this landscape underscores his grim determination as he arrives at his next destination, ready to see if this world holds the challenge he craves. Battle Beast stands alone, surveying the desolate alien landscape ahead. He is clearly hunting, and the silence of this barren world only amplifies the tension as he approaches a mysterious lone structure in the distance. He's searching for a challenge that can finally end his life, and every step toward this strange, isolated ruin feels like another potential grave. Battle Beast surveys the desolate alien landscape, his eyes drawn toward a mysterious, singular structure rising from the barren rock. He approaches the structure with caution, his senses heightened as he notices a strange, weathered mass embedded directly into the side of the tower. Coming face to face with the object, Battle Beast pauses, his predatory instincts kicking in as he contemplates what he's actually looking at. He lets out a single, thoughtful sound, clearly suspecting this isn't just a random piece of debris. Battle Beast stands before the towering, inert form of the Colossus of Emsiu, his gaze intense as he studies the prisoner. He leans in closer, testing the air, his keen senses picking up the subtle signs of life within the statue-like figure. The Colossus remains perfectly still, a massive, imposing mask of stone that hides the deception beneath. Battle Beast isn't buying the act for a second. He stares down the Colossus, his voice dripping with anticipation as he declares, "The Colossus continues to play dead, refusing to break his ruse just yet." Just when we thought the encounter was going to be a simple one-sided beatdown, the creature finally speaks. It drops the act of being a mindless, dying victim and reveals a terrifying level of intelligence. This thing has been watching Battle Beast the whole time, analyzing him. It's clearly impressed by the warrior's unique blend of raw, destructive power and tactical wisdom, a combination it finds dangerously rare in this universe. Battle Beast stares down the creature, his eyes narrowed in intense, predatory scrutiny. He isn't buying the silence for a second. The tension holds. Battle Beast doesn't blink, his massive, lion-like features set in a mask of cold, unwavering suspicion. The Colossus of Emsiu finally drops the act. He reveals his true, monstrous visage, a jagged, multi-eyed nightmare, and laughs, claiming his feigned death was merely a desperate defense mechanism against the dangers of this desolate rock. Now the Colossus pivots to manipulation. He appeals to Battle Beast's sense of power, painting himself as a frail, ancient prisoner trapped in a cosmic cage, begging for the strength of a warrior to grant him one last taste of freedom. Battle Beast looms, his expression unreadable. He's listening, but the question remains, does he actually care about this prisoner's plight, or is he just waiting for a reason to unleash his fury? The Colossus of Emsiu continues his sob story, playing the part of a tragic, deposed prince to hook Battle Beast. He recounts a tale of betrayal by his own sister, painting himself as the victim of a brutal coup that left him rotting on this desolate rock. As he continues the act, feigning concern for his mother, Battle Beast has clearly heard enough of this manipulative nonsense. He doesn't wait for the punchline, he just winds up a devastating strike. With a massive CHOOM, Battle Beast slams his fist directly into the Colossus, shattering the illusion of his weakness instantly. The Colossus is sent reeling, his head cracking against the very surface that held him prisoner. Battle Beast doesn't stop, following through with a brutal KRAKK as he drives the Colossus deeper into the rock, finally ending the charade. The deception is over. With a deafening KRAKOM, the barrier keeping the Colossus of Emsiu contained is shattered, and the true monster finally emerges. He drops the facade of the helpless, elderly prisoner instantly. Towering over Battle Beast, the Colossus reveals his true colors, boasting that he is the tyrant who once conquered empires and terrorized the known universe. He sneers at Battle Beast, calling him a weak-minded cretin, and declares that his freedom is a death sentence for his liberator. Battle Beast crashes into the Colossus of Emsiu, driving him back with the raw, kinetic force of a predator who has finally found a target worth his time. The sheer impact forces the Colossus onto the defensive, as Battle Beast grapples with him, his massive sword still strapped to his back. This isn't a rescue mission anymore, it's a hunt. Battle Beast gets right in his face, revealing that he hasn't been fooled for a second. He didn't come to liberate a prisoner, he came to harvest the power of a legend. With a roar of pure, unadulterated bloodlust, Battle Beast demands the Colossus unleash everything he's got. He doesn't want a trick, he wants a war. Battle Beast unleashes a devastating headbutt, driving his skull directly into the Colossus of Emsiu with a sickening crunch. The impact is absolute, sending green ichor and debris flying as the Colossus is rocked by the sheer force of the blow. Despite the brutal collision, the Colossus of Emsiu remains standing, looking down at a dazed Battle Beast with chilling indifference. He dismisses the warrior's desperate assault with a single, arrogant word, setting the stage for a violent counterattack. The Colossus of Emsiu looms over a battered Battle Beast, taunting him. He claims that the brutal strike Thokk just took was actually his own power reflected back at him. Battle Beast isn't intimidated by the monster's scale or his ego. He stares up undeterred, daring the beast to keep pushing. Battle Beast cuts through the posturing. He's here for a death, not a debate, and he demands the Colossus show him the full extent of his lethal potential. The Colossus of Emsiu immediately turns the tables, slamming Battle Beast into the ground with a massive strike. He mocks the warrior's momentary survival, warning him not to mistake this brief reprieve for an actual path to victory. Battle Beast isn't fazed in the slightest. He catches a heavy blow, coolly noting that it would be foolish to underestimate him. Battle Beast shoves the Colossus back, creating distance between them as they prepare for the next exchange. A brutal, high-impact collision follows, with claws and strikes flying in a flurry of violence. Battle Beast pauses, his frustration boiling over. He demands the Colossus show his true strength, even offering to wait for him to recover from his long imprisonment, just so the final fight can be worthy of his time. Battle Beast's offer to wait for his opponent to recover is met with a derisive, monstrous sneer from the Colossus of Emsiu. The Colossus wastes no time, shattering the debris he was holding with a display of raw, arrogant speed. He lunges at Battle Beast with a massive limb, dismissing the warrior's blades as mere toys and declaring his own body the ultimate weapon. As the Colossus snaps one of Battle Beast's swords in half, he promises a gruesome end for our hero. But Battle Beast isn't intimidated. He's closing the distance, reminding the Colossus that he's not the only one with a lethal bite. The exchange of teeth and bone continues as the Colossus of Emsiu finds that Battle Beast is far from a typical opponent. Thokk drives his point home with a brutal, visceral strike, burying his fangs deep into his enemy's shoulder. The sheer agony is immediate. The Colossus lets out a harrowing, pained cry, realizing too late that his arrogance has led him into the jaws of a predator who truly does not care about his status, only the thrill of the kill. Battle Beast is absolutely relentless, burying his teeth deep into the Colossus of Emsiu. The villain is clearly panicking, realizing that he's completely outmatched. He doesn't let up for a second, tearing into his opponent with primal, savage force. Each movement is a brutal, calculated strike, with the Colossus unable to break free from that iron grip. The fight is a mess of neon green alien blood, with Battle Beast grinding through the Colossus's defenses. It's a visceral display of dominance as Battle Beast continues his assault, ignoring the Colossus's desperate cries. Finally, the inevitable happens. Battle Beast rips the Colossus's arm clean off, leaving the villain screaming in agony. Battle Beast towers over his foe, savoring the brutality of the dismemberment. He's not just fighting, he's mocking the Colossus, confident that the damage he's inflicted will be a lasting setback. But the Colossus isn't finished yet. He lashes out with a desperate, heavy blow, slamming his massive fist into Battle Beast to reclaim some ground in this one-sided slaughter. Battle Beast barely flinches, his eyes burning with cold intensity. He isn't impressed by the retaliation, and as he prepares to counterattack, he makes it clear that the Colossus is merely delaying the inevitable. The Colossus of Emsiu is clearly feeling the pressure, taunting Battle Beast even as he's gripped in a death-defying hold. Battle Beast doesn't even blink, he just takes the hit, unfazed by the Colossus's desperate aggression. Battle Beast begins his countermove, his expression locked in that familiar, cold intensity as he prepares to end this charade. He drives his point home, showing the Colossus that his pathetic attempts at resistance are entirely futile. With a sickening, visceral impact, the fight reaches its brutal climax. The Colossus is left gasping, his false power shattered as Battle Beast looms over him, entirely unimpressed. Battle Beast stands amidst the carnage, his massive frame looming over the broken, shattered body of the Colossus. The fight that promised so much has ended in a mess of gore and disappointment. With a final heavy thud, the Colossus falls completely, the life drained from him. Battle Beast remains standing, his gaze cold and unimpressed as he looms over the remains of yet another legend that failed to provide the death he craves. With his body shattered, the Colossus of Emsiu finds a grim sense of peace in his final moments, thanking Battle Beast for the release of death. Battle Beast stands over the broken villain, his expression one of cold, crushing disappointment. The galactic legends of the Colossuses might were nothing but lies, he wasn't even a challenge. Battle Beast turns his back on the pathetic remains, already moving on to the next hunt. He carries a trophy, leaving the corpse behind in the alien dust. Even in victory, the warrior finds no joy, only the lingering, heavy weight of his own unfulfilled desire for a death that truly matters. With the Colossus of Emsiu finally broken and discarded, a new, desperate voice emerges from the carnage, a frail, alien figure reaching out from the remnants of the battle, begging for salvation. Battle Beast stands over the wreckage of his latest opponent, completely unfazed by the carnage he's just unleashed. The defeated Colossus of Emsiu, now a pathetic, mangled mess, attempts a desperate new tactic. He claims to be a royal heir, Prince Salaka of the Fantanian Empire, trying to bribe Battle Beast into saving him with promises of reward. Battle Beast's expression says it all. He isn't even remotely interested in this royal posturing or the plea for mercy. As the Colossus begs for a response, Battle Beast simply turns his back. He didn't come here for a prince, he came for a challenge, and this guy clearly wasn't it. Battle Beast walks away from the carnage, leaving the desolate planet behind as he returns to his ship. He's finished his business here, but the lack of a worthy opponent leaves him as hollow as the barren landscape itself. He treks across the cracked, crimson surface toward his waiting vessel, carrying his grisly trophy, ready to drag his boredom across the stars to the next potential challenge. Battle Beast stands in the sterile, empty corridor of his ship, the aftermath of his latest victory weighing heavy in the silence. The silence is broken only by the heavy, rhythmic thud of his footsteps echoing through the vessel, a grim reminder of the hollow conquest he just finished. Covered in the gore of the Colossus, Battle Beast stares blankly. The ship's computer attempts to console him, noting that it will immediately scan for a more formidable challenge. But just as the computer tries to pivot, a sudden, sharp realization cuts through. They aren't alone on this ship. Battle Beast turns, his instincts flaring. He's been carrying the Colossus's severed arm as a snack, but that's not what the computer is reacting to. Something or someone has made its presence known, and the sheer tension of the moment is palpable as a loud WHUDD echoes through the hall. Battle Beast continues his grim, pragmatic approach to his journey. Seeing that the severed arm of the Colossus still possesses some lingering vitality, he keeps it around, noting that it will stay fresher longer if it remains alive. The severed limb lets out a pathetic, audible gulp, fully aware of its grim fate as a mere travel snack for one of the most dangerous beings in the galaxy. We've reached the final page, which is dedicated entirely to a letter from writer Robert Kirkman. He's reflecting on his long history with the Invincible Universe, his excitement for this new series, and the creative team bringing it to life. Kirkman continues his thoughts, emphasizing the goal to top the legendary battles of the main series, praising the new colorist Annalise Elaine and longtime letterer Ruse Wooten, and promising that fans are in for a wild ride as the Invincible Universe expands in unexpected ways. Things are heating up in the containment area as a sizzling volatile substance burns through the wall, signaling that our mysterious intruder is making a forced entry. And here comes the muscle. A no-nonsense law enforcer kicks through the debris, leveling a heavy-duty weapon and wasting no time with pleasantries. She's clearly had enough of this target's antics, shouting, caught completely off guard by the explosive arrival. The target recoils from the falling rubble, letting out a strained grunt of pure frustration. Things are getting frantic. Akeldama is barking orders, demanding the defensive walls come down immediately as she maneuvers through the debris. The tech responds instantly. With a sharp mechanical hup and the heavy shunk of shifting metal, a path clears, allowing them to advance further into the facility. Despite the progress, the situation is clearly not going as planned. Akeldama looks visibly frustrated, forced to keep her guard up as the environment continues to shift against them. She's done playing around. Akeldama calls for the heavy artillery, demanding ball busters from Thunder, who is more than happy to oblige her request. The environment is being absolutely shredded by heavy, concussive fire, filling the air with debris and the deafening CHOOM of high-impact weaponry. Amidst the destruction, the combatant finds himself in a moment of weary realization, surrounded by his own spent casings and the hissing steam of a cooling weapon. The sheer intensity of the exchange has left him completely drained. Akeldama's situation turns dire as her opponent draws a weapon. She desperately demands a lethal buckshot setting from her talking gun, Thunder, but the weapon flatly refuses, citing its own programming constraints regarding lethal force at such close range. The tension boils over into a heated argument. Akeldama is frantic, insisting this isn't the time for moral posturing, while Thunder remains steadfastly uncooperative. The gun's refusal to kill forces Akeldama to endure the frustration of a weapon that's supposed to be her partner, but refuses to follow her most lethal commands. With her lethal options off the table, a Kodama pivots to a different tactic. She opts for an expando setting, clearly hoping to incapacitate her target in a different way, and she's already celebrating the tactical shift. The weapon fires, and we see the immediate, jarring effect as her target is suddenly bombarded by the new ammunition, sent reeling back from the impact. While we've been tracking Battle Beast's relentless quest for a worthy death, it looks like we've got a tease for the next big thing coming out of the Invincible Universe. This is a promotional splash page for Blood and Thunder, featuring a character named Blood and her massive, talking weapon Thunder. It's clearly set to be an action-packed, high-stakes ride when it drops in May 2025, and with a lineup like Sereno, Sue, and Kirkman, it's definitely one to keep on your radar. Our journey through the galaxy's most lethal warrior continues, but the carnage is far from over. We get a massive teaser for the next installment of the saga, arriving June 18, 2025. It's clear the hunt for a worthy death for Battle Beast is only just beginning. To keep you ready for the next drop, check out the various variant covers coming your way, labeled B through F. Each one showcases the intensity of Thokk's quest as we prepare for the next bloody chapter. We're wrapping up this issue with a look at the incredible variant cover art that accompanied this release, starting with the Ryan Ottley and Annalise Alini piece for cover A. Next, we have the David Finch variant, showcasing that classic, gritty intensity. Then there's the mysterious blind bag variant, keeping things under wraps, moving on to the dynamic EJ Sue cover, highlighting the raw combat style of Thokk. The Kale and Goo variant brings a darker, more atmospheric tone to our favorite warrior. We also have the Arthur Adams and Tanya Lehu cover, packing a ton of detail into the frame. John Boy Mayers delivers a high-energy, explosive cover for the G variant. Returning to Ottley and Leonie for cover H, focusing on that iconic, imposing presence. Then there's the clean, minimalist appeal of the I variant, the official sketch cover. And finally, we round it out with cover J, featuring the art of Ottley Leonie and Andres Juarez. Thanks for hanging out with us for this look at Battle Beast's journey. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more deep dives.